Today on the Holo Chronicles podcast, we are going over the Fan First Friday with Hasbro's, getting the highlights with our buddy Tim from Bossk Bounty. Josh?
Hey,
Welcome everybody to the Holo Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, Andy. Over there is my co-partner in crime.
co-partner. I'm not even partner. I don't even rank as partner anymore. Just some co-partner.
I
mean, I
is
don't
that
know.
redundant?
I don't know. Co-host, I guess we could go with.
Okay.
I'm teasing you
Fair
now.
enough.
What's happening?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
We've got a great show for you today. We've got big-time YouTuber, big-time vintage collection aficionado, Bossk's Bounty is here with us today, and we'll be going over all of the highlights from Hasbro's Fan First Friday that happened just a few days ago, and as well as a new spinner.
We got some fun stuff. It's just going to be, look, what is relatively a slow time right now for Star Wars. We still have some fun stuff to talk about, and the toys that were announced on Friday are at least exciting and
intriguing,
you know,
of course,
keep us all a little happy for a minute.
We are a part of the Beyond the Blast Doors network, where you can find 5 days of live YouTube content on our channel at www.youtube.com/Beyond the Blast Doors. And you can find us on the web at www.beyondtheblastdoors.com, where you can see such articles posted as today's Show Me Your Collection with Dave from Vintage Toy Rush. We'll try to get to that there by the end of the show. He posted up some great pictures of his very, very thorough and extensive toy collection. So yeah, we just got a lot of good stuff.
We've got a lot of good stuff coming from the network this week too. I think we've got Around the Galaxy. He's got Matthew Stover. Tomorrow live.
Yes. And for those of you that don't know who Matthew Stover is, he wrote the adaptation for Revenge of the Sith. And amongst Star Wars book people, it is generally agreed upon that that is the best novelization of any of the movies. So
right.
I find that to be the best. I mean, personally, I think that's the best book of all of the movies. And there's just some incredible Anakin and Obi-Wan insight to that.
Yeah, that's going to be an interview you want to watch.
Definitely,
it's going to be fun.
Definitely. I'm excited.
It's going to get a heads up, hands-on view from the guy that thought it. I mean, if you think about it, an author like that, they get some creative license. Sure, they have the screenplay that they can go off, but there's a lot of filler that has to go in there to make a novel. So that's pretty exciting. And then of course we got David Beyond the Blast Doors live talking about all the good stuff
with Scotty and Arzu.
Yep. And then we got the Bombads live now, and they've got a project this week. I hope they do it. I don't know if I should say it or spoil it, but to me, we'll let them talk about it. But it's going to be really fun. It's a video they're going to go over, and then of course Force Connect Fridays, where we just
you guys
holler into the mic.
You guys get to be the guests.
Yeah,
we get to talk about all of the current Star Wars events with you guys.
Yeah.
And what do I hear? I heard he made a little appearance at the last.
Oh well, you never know.
You never know who'll show up.
Yeah, you just never know.
Well, that said, Josh, let's bring in our guest. Like I said, vintage collection aficionado.
Right. Yeah. Let's bring him in.
Tim from Bossk Bounty.
Here he is. Welcome, Tim.
Hey.
Hi guys. How you doing?
Doing great.
Tim, great. If I were to describe you as a Star Wars collector, I would, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, I would label you primarily as a vintage collection in the box collector. How does that sound?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, I guess. Yeah, I do collect them on card, but I do open all the ones I review. So there's that.
We do see a lovely barge behind you there.
Yes.
Outstanding.
That's the first thing I noticed was that beauty up there.
Yeah, it's kind of the centerpiece. But to be honest, underneath that, all of these shelves are like vintage Star Wars. So I do have like kind of a mix going on.
Yeah, it's hard just to collect one thing, you know.
Well, wouldn't you consider like the barge coming out, even though, it was 2 years ago or whatever? I mean, to me, that was like a nice addition to like the vintage collection we had. I remember buying it saying, this is something that should have been around. We had the skiff and we had all the little mini skiffs, and where was the katana when we needed that? And we finally got it. So I feel like it slides right in to my vintage collection without being an imposter at all.
Oh yeah, big time. And I think it was like campaigned for years, on certain websites and stuff. People were campaigning for a long time, and I guess
even before there were hashtags.
You go on about something so much for so long, and eventually,
yeah. You whine enough, yes, and it might happen.
The squeaky wheel.
And you're a toy reviewer. Would you say they did it right with the barge? Yeah,
it's perfect. Yeah,
it really is. It was well done. That's why HasLab, to me, when they came out with the crest, was like, I have no worries or qualms about dropping whatever, for that, because I feel like they really do it right, so it's pretty good.
Oh, the crest is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So for those of you that may not have heard of Bossk's Bounty, Tim, why don't you give just a little recap of what you do on your YouTube channel as far as what you're trying to put out there for the fandom?
So mainly it is around the vintage collection, and it's mainly reviews. I do a bit of news. I don't do news all of the time. It has to be something like that's big, like one of the conventions or Fan First Friday event or something like that. And then I do like a recap video. I do a bit of rumors and stuff like that. Just anything that's to do with the vintage collection, really. I occasionally do videos where I sort of show off what I've got that week, and that could be vintage or modern, but that's about it. Yeah, I guess you could call it a review channel if you had to nail it down to one thing.
Yeah, I've been pretty faithfully watching your channel for about 6 months now, I'd say, and I love what you're doing. I love getting the little reminders that you're and also I can't even finish my thought. You started recently doing a Saturday vintage collection podcast, right? You've had a couple now.
I had the third one just gone. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And that was John. Right? Was that
John Miko, who runs the Facebook group? Yeah. And then the week before we had and also Victoria's Cantina joined halfway through on Saturday. Because she was recording a podcast beforehand. So, and then the week before we had Jason and Tyler. Yeah, good group of people. I mean, the reason I did that was because essentially there's like a sort of little movement going now where middle of last year, I got really annoyed with the sort of reveals that were coming out about the vintage collection compared to the Black Series. And I thought we were being a bit shortchanged. So I and a number of other people in the community sort of got together and started these like campaigns, which were recognized by Hasbro, which was good. And I just think, like, if you're noisy enough about something, like as we said about the barge, then you can't be ignored. So
yeah, I thought I'd put that up there. Now, I was going to ask, when you got annoyed about hearing all about Black Series, was it because of Shabby Mark? Is that who annoyed you?
He's got a good Black Series. Look, I've got nothing against the Black Series. I've got some of the Black Series, and I do buy them. And the new boxes, I like the new boxes. I like the way they're presented. So I do buy them, but I don't know. It all harks back to when I was a kid and the vintage cards, and it's just a continuation of that. I do recognize that the Black Series figures are of a certain quality, but then again, I also think that the new figures that the vintage collection are coming out with are on par.
Yeah, I agree. I think I've been doing Black Series. That's why I had to take a jab at Mark there, Shabby. And I'm into it, but I will, and I didn't have my eye on the 3.75s. It just didn't. The vintage collection, for me, I think it was just an overwhelming thing. It's like, oh, I don't have a place to start where, I guess my very simple mind was like, there's numbers on the side of the Black Series boxes and I can really follow those numbers. They're sequential. It's amazing. The Chewy decimal system is easy for me. But now, like you said, seeing these newer releases from the vintage, it's making me go like, man, should I be buying these two? Which is it should be no, because I need to watch my bank account. But yes, they are very good. They're very good, and I think we're going to talk about a few today.
Yeah. Speaking of new toy releases, we had Fan First Friday a few days ago, and what I wanted to do just amongst the three of us, and then in the chat, shout out to everybody in the chat. Good to see you guys and gals. I just want to kind of hit on, instead of going over everything that was announced, maybe we shared our favorite vintage collection, Black Series, and then pipeline figure, and pipeline meaning coming down, releasing later on this year kind of figure. So
how did you feel about where did Fan First Fridays, is that something that they're, I seem out of touch with that, because it kind of caught me off guard. Is that something that they're doing quarterly, monthly, or just throwing it out there every week?
It's all because of the pandemic. I mean, they wouldn't be doing them if everyone wasn't in lockdown, because they'd have all their conventions to go to. Toy Fair should be next month, and it won't be happening. So I would imagine we'll get another whatever they brand it as announcement from Hasbro towards the end of next month, or this month now, because it's February now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I would imagine, and we'll probably get more reveals then than we did this one. I think this one was like sort of an intro into the year, and here's a few things to get excited about. But I wasn't really closely following last year exactly the sort of time in between each releases. One to know exactly what. I think it was just sort of random when they've got stuff to tell us,
Well, and we covered Mando Mondays, and I thought that was a pretty good campaign. It came out of the gate real strong, and then it could have just been, that we had 8 weeks of it, or 9 weeks, really, wasn't it? Wasn't it 9? At the end, it kind of petered out a little bit. I was hoping more for a bookend type of scenario where they come out strong. Yeah, we get some splatterings, and at the end, you're like, whoa, big reveal to kind of close it off. But again, I really enjoyed that. It gave me something to look forward to as a collector. Not that I mean, even maybe one thing. Well, yeah, the Boba Fett helmet, came out, so that was cool. But I enjoy these. That's why I was asking. Like, okay, these are kind of cool. I look forward to just perusing through some releases. Whether or not I'm going to get them is up to the item. But yeah,
I think with the Mando Mondays one as well is that. I think a few people got a little bit confused about what that was, because I think some people thought it was a Hasbro thing, and it was actually, all sorts of companies, Funko were releasing stuff. And I think when Hasbro took a week off and they didn't release anything, everyone was like, where's all the reveals, and they got annoyed on Instagram. And so if you didn't get a vintage collection figure or Black Series figure revealed on the Monday, everyone started getting annoyed. But you're right. It did start really strong and then petered out, didn't it?
As soon as we came up with the crystal Grogu, I was like, okay, now we're going way out there, I don't know how many of those sold, but I hope it was 2.
I imagine a few.
Was it you two, was it?
Yeah, we all have grandmas, don't we?
Yeah, grandma will love this crystal Grogu. Yeah. All right, so Tim, as far as the vintage collection, we'll start right with your sweet spot. What did you get most excited about from Fan First Friday?
Well, it was definitely the Ahsoka figure, because it's an all new figure. It's a brand new sculpt, and the thing I like about it as well is that you could potentially use that for the Mandalorian as well. I think the outfits are very similar.
It wouldn't take much to custom make a little cowl to throw over too,
Yeah. Well, in fact, I think my mate Nick, Only One Kenobi, he did a recent video about the other Ahsoka from the original card back, which also came out in the 3.75-inch Black Series. So it's an easy figure to get, and he put the Ray Island Journey poncho on that figure, and it looked really good. And I said to him in the comments, like, you can't wait until the new one comes out, because it'll look even better then,
Yeah, I think the face sculpt has gotten a lot better too. More in tune with the Clone Wars version of I think that looks just like her. I mean, I think that's
So
what
that
they
being
did, really.
said, if they release a Mandalorian, Ahsoka, are we going to get a Rosaria Dawson face sculpt, do you think? I mean,
At some point, maybe. I don't know.
it'd be interesting.
I'm sure people would buy it because
Sure.
Ahsoka's pretty popular right now, as we'll get to.
You're more likely to get that in the Black Series, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
the sculpt, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she's beautiful. It's a great figure.
So what I got pretty jazzed up for was the Maul figure, the Darth Maul Clone Wars figure. I've got a little corner to my collection devoted to Darth Maul, and this is going to go nicely. I in particular like the mechanical legs, and that version of him is new to the figures. So there isn't any version of Maul that kind of looks like this. So I'm excited about that. I made sure I got that one pre-ordered. So
do you think it's a precursor at all, or are we just covering our bases?
I think we're just making sure we got all the versions of Maul, because again, he's a popular character. And
I was trying to just break something here on the Holocron. Maul. See Maul soon.
The good thing about that one is that it is the season 7 one, so it goes. You've got that battle, then, haven't you, between the two of them from that episode?
Yeah.
And I liked the way they talked about that because the most of the Clone Wars figures, like especially the clones, they've made them with realistic heads instead of cartoony heads. But with this Maul, they mentioned that they've stretched his head just a little bit, just so that it's in between. It's in between animation and in between realistic, so it won't look exactly like the previous Maul that we've got, but it won't look too cartoony either.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I think it's a good look. I think
so. We're gonna have like we have big head Han. Now we're gonna have medium head Maul.
Another head Maul,
yeah.
Stretched
in the middle Maul.
Yeah, horse-faced Maul.
Yeah, horse-faced Maul.
Josh, what was your vintage collection?
I had my eye on, just because you and I went through my Phantom Menace collection, which was funny. That was a fun. Maybe you should talk about that. I know you took pictures and put them on Twitter, but we went through some of the bins, and I've always been, and I think a few people, is like the Phantom Menace packaging was really cool. I mean, that was like some of the coolest packaging when it was released, because it was our first look at Star Wars packaging. Not that I like it more than, say, the vintage packaging, but I liked that they're coming out with these 6-inch figures. And instead of using, kind of the classic, like the Archive series, they're using those that same style of packaging in the 6-inch. And then, of course, a Black Series popped in there, so I had to grab that from the Bad Batch, which is that Elite Squad Trooper. So those are kind of my two. Oh, they're on the same photo, so I put them up at once there.
So Black Series wise, yeah, isn't it just like a clone trooper, but just a different color? I mean, I think that's basically what it is. I think there's a version of that out there, but man, he looks cool. Looks cool. Tim, what do you think about the repacking figures, but on the Phantom Menace card? How do you feel about that?
I've got the Obi-Wan and Maul from when they did it for the 20th anniversary of
the convention specials.
I've got those two. Yeah. So I didn't pick up all of these. I went for the Battle Droid, I think.
Yeah.
What I did notice about, and this isn't me having a go at the Black Series, but what I did notice.
All right, Mark. All right, I know I jabbed you earlier, but get ready, buddy. Get ready in the comments.
Shabby, you listen to this, boy. What I did notice about the Black Series on that live stream is that the only new thing you got was Qui-Gon head. The rest of it is all repacks or repaints, and it's like a common theme, isn't it? We don't get as much new as we used to, that's for sure, in both scales.
Well, I noticed too that the Qui-Gon face sculpt, it is a little better, but he looked a little Spanish, like he's from Barcelona, like he twists his mustache maybe just a little bit when he talks.
I have a unique set of skills.
Yes, but no, I thought the sculpt was a little better than the first Black Series version of him. But you're right. I mean, it's the only thing new we're really getting is the card.
Well, and we talked about this with our archive series review. Is like I'm with you, Tim. So sometimes I get a little annoyed by the repacks, but we did talk about how they could be. Somebody made the point that they could be entry points for people that just started collecting. So maybe you missed the boat on Black Series, or maybe you're just a new Star Wars fan. It might be easier for you to kind of identify with that figure on the card and buy that. So I don't really like to partake in it, even though I own archive series, and then I'll probably buy a couple of these because, like I said, I like the card backs. Like the Battle Droid B1 is very cool, and it gives you a few more angles on the figure than it does in a Black Series box. You know, you can really inspect the figure if you don't take them out and play.
Yeah.
So
if you leave them in the package,
I think repacks are a necessary evil anyway, because like Hasbro are a multi-million or even billion-dollar company. I don't know, but they're a very rich company. But they still have budgets, you know. So they still have a budget for Star Wars, and they know how big their market is. So they know how much they can invest to make money. They want to make money. So to get as much out of a sculpt as you could possibly can, they're gonna do it. And people think Star Wars is bad, but it's not. Actually, if you look at Marvel Legends, I think Marvel Legends use 75% retooling. So you know, they'll use the same arms for a lot of their figures, the same legs and what have you, because they're all superheroes.
Yeah.
So they can make more figures and make them look different, but they're actually using a lot of the same parts. Whereas if you think, you know, Qui-Gon is completely different to Hammerhead, for example, there's just no way you can do that with Star Wars, because the range of characters is just so different from each other, you know?
Yeah. You're not wrong there.
So, you know, that's unfortunate, you know, so you've just got to accept that there will be repaints, there will be repacks. And
has anyone ever done that might be fun to research a little bit, is like, how much does it cost for a figure to get manufactured? Meaning from the sculpt, from the prototype, from the paint, from then the tooling, you know, you're probably dead on there. You know, look, if you're going to create a Maul or a character, if you spend all the money to get it ready to go, then you're going to probably repack it a couple times and send it out there at different phases to take advantage of your investment there.
Yeah. As far as Black Series goes, Tim, what was your highlight from the weekend?
Definitely the Greedo.
Does it bother you at all? He's not left-handed like the vintage.
It should.
No,
I just think this transferred into 6-inch really, really well. And a lot of people said, "Oh, we want these sorts of things, the vintage collection." But I don't, because I think the vintage collection is about modern versions of figures on vintage style card backs. I would like a Greedo in the retro collection, for example, which would be quite nice. But I like the way they've sort of tried to make a 6-inch figures out, you know, make them look like the vintage figures, and that one's the best one, I think.
Well, and that's my first comment when I was looking at these, you know, because Andy clues me in and then I catch up, is how it usually works. And so I was like, oh, is that 6-inch? You know, so I was actually pretty pleased as well. Like, oh, that looks cool. That's why I was saying about the episode, you know, the episode 1 pack too. I like them on kind of an original looking card back there. Makes me want them more than I do the archive series, that's for sure. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
I appreciate that this little batch of 6-inch figures have really tried to stay true to the original vintage. The Greedo, the Obi-Wan, and the Jawa. Obi-Wan was my favorite out of that group. Josh got a picture of it there, but the fact that he's got a vinyl cape and that he's mostly orange, you know, just like the vintage figure, and man, if that doesn't look just like Alec Guinness,
that could be a hot toy, couldn't it?
I mean, that's that's really, really.
Are you maybe a Spanish Alec Guinness? No, I'm kidding.
No, not on this one. Not on this one. Definitely. Downtown London Alec Guinness for sure.
Out on the town.
Uptown,
road,
uptown.
Pre-COVID, Alec Guinness. Yep.
And did you hear what they said about the lightsaber in the stream as well? Because the Eric, the designer guy, so the lightsaber's, what's the word? Opaque, is it? So it's not like translucent because they're trying to mimic the original
Vintage.
saber.
Oh,
Even though it's quite a light blue color, it's not translucent like the ones you'd get usually.
No,
now you can see. Yeah.
And now, perfect. It looks like kind of a toothpaste, minty.
Now, when they had a crest saber, so how do you think they chose the card back? I mean, because we had a couple different options, right? I guess they're going to original 12. Is that what it is? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
You have the other, I'm trying to picture it in my mind right now. We have both. The other card back for Obi-Wan. It's him with the hood up. His cowl's up, isn't it? And he's in the background. Yeah, it's when he's fighting Vader.
So the vintage.
Yeah, the vintage.
What is alternate card?
Yeah. Anyway, so he looks fantastic.
They probably went with that one because they probably got loads left over from when they did the 40th anniversary.
Well, you know what?
Cynical.
Josh, would this be an appropriate time to drop our new spinner since it's
actually pretty timely if
you
like
it, because it falls right in with what we just talked about.
I don't know, chat. Do you guys want to see another spinner? We have one more spinner. We spun the crap out of you last week.
We sure did. We dropped 3 last week.
Can I just say I love these spinners. They're amazing. You've done great work with these.
Oh, that's really, thank you. That means a lot to us coming from you, Tim. That really does.
Well, and I will say too, the one negative comment we got was a reply to your retweet.
I know.
That cracked me up. That was the best.
Oh man.
Well, he's not gonna like this one.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. Yeah, Josh, this is our new spinner from the Holo Chronicles.
Away we go.
Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi. Kenner production number 38250. First carded appearance 1978, 12 back. Variations include white or gray hair and standard or double telescoping lightsaber. This silver fox first stumbled his way on screen in Star Wars A New Hope by frightening the indigenous people of Tatooine with a highly accurate impression of a krayt dragon's mating call. And don't worry, ladies, even if it were cold out, you could still see just the tip of his double telescoping lightsaber. And it's never cold on Tatooine, if you know what I mean. Original retail price, $1.99. Estimated value loose, $40. Mint on card 12 back, $350. This is the sexy hermit you've been looking for.
All right.
I mean,
what'd you think, Tim? Was that all right?
That was awesome.
Oh, we're such idiots.
And the great thing is, as well, if I grew a beard, that's what color it'd be.
Oh, maybe you can cosplay.
Hold on. Yeah. Don't worry, Tim. We can spin you. Don't you?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
You're ready?
Get ready.
You're ready.
Spin your chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, Boss Bounty presents Cosplay Tim.
Cosplay Tim. Oh man. Well, thank you for allowing us to do that while you were on the show with us.
That was great. So we last week we asked it for anybody that was following along if they would retweet our post of the spinner and for the opportunity to win yourselves one of these prototype. These are not in any shops. Prototype hats. Josh has a flat bill. I've got a curved bill, and you guys were to retweet it using hashtag curved bill or flat bill. And we do have a winner, Josh.
We do.
We have a winner. We should announce it now. Our winner is a new follower of ours. His name's Robbie, and he's got forgive me on the mispronunciation of his Twitter handle. We'll just call him Robbie. He's got a rainbow trooper helmet as his avatar. So
okay.
Robbie, congratulations. You got yourself a curved bill hat from the Hall Chronicles. So
hey, by the way, that's probably, I just put it up there because Darth Mark put it up for us. The $79,000 for a double telescoping card back. That's probably as close. That's pretty close.
I mean,
to one of these curve bills.
You yeah, prototype hat or a double telescoping Obi-Wan.
Yeah. And guys and gals, don't worry, we're working on it to get them out there for the masses. We've actually, of all the creative things we've done, Andy,
and I'm wearing one.
I know, which are just genius. It was a stupid little logo on the side of a black hat that got everyone's attention. So
we'll get him.
This is a lesson to you kids out there. Never try too hard. Never try too hard.
Yeah, trying too hard is just
limp in.
Yeah,
limp in, and you're gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a bunch of Bossk bounty hats out there. They're nice looking,
but he tried too hard. I mean, they're probably beautiful.
They're way nicer, way nicer. But anyway, congrats to Robbie. We'll be doing this again sometime. We'll figure out another way to get another couple hats out there to some people. And thank you for the retweets last week. Those were pretty fun. We'll try and crank one new spinner out each week.
Yeah.
And then I guess to wrap up this part of the segment, there were announced for later on this year some pipeline characters that will be receiving a Black Series. I guess Black Series and Vintage Collection figure.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, good. You posted the pick up there for at least the Black Series there. Tim, which one are you looking forward to the most out of that sexy group of figures?
It is a sexy group of figures. That I'll tell you, that was a hard choice when you asked me that, because you could make a case for any of those really. But I think it's probably, for me, it was is it Costa Reeves, the Mandalorian girl?
Yeah, Costa Reeves. Yeah,
she's going to be good. And she'll go very nicely with Bo-Katan, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Josh, what do you think?
For me, it's General Lando. I'm down with that. I really like, as a matter of fact, I never thought about it until when we talked about this. I was like, oh yeah, General Lando, like right off the bat. I really like the vintage figure of General Lando. So that's why I was like immediately, let's see that cape. I want to see that sculpt. I want to see that beautiful cape, that mustache. Let's get it on.
It better be a cloth cape.
Yeah.
I hope it's not a molded one.
Well, if they're paying that much attention to Obi-Wan and the coloring, I hope they're doing the same for these. I hope they're doing the same for other vintage figures that were vintage figures as well. So, yeah. But I can't disagree with Tim because Sasha's going to look pretty cool.
Yeah, I wanted to say Tech because I really like the Hunter, and I can't think of the sniper guy's name, but I think
it's Sniper. No, I'm just kidding.
I really like
creative. They had really creative names for those, the Bullseye or something. Yeah.
But I'm gonna go Aura Singh just because I think we're gonna see her upcoming.
Do you?
In something? I don't know. It's more of a gut feeling than got my feelers out and the wind is talking to me a little bit, but I think I'm excited for the Aura Singh figure the most out of that group. So I'm glad we got a little variety here.
Yeah.
I did just pick up from the I don't know, early 2000s, maybe it was 1999. It was the Ultimate Series Collection 12-inch version of Aura Singh.
Did you?
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. So I'll post a picture of that up this week. But
does she have that creepy single antennae?
Yep.
Because that drives me crazy.
It is weird. It is weird. No doubt about it. So next topic. I was thinking, because I internalize a lot of information and I got to think about it before I speak on it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
No joke, Josh. But last week, given the kind of the crazy events happening in the stock market here in the United States, where a group of people decided that they were going to short the shorters on GameStop and a couple other stocks, and it ended up working out for them this time. It was a pretty risky move, but it worked. And two things came to mind when I was thinking about that, because they were trying to stick it to the hedge fund, people, and it worked this time. And two things came to mind. The first was that nobody likes bots and scalpers when it comes to pre-orders and comes to eBay and all of that. And I was just thinking to myself, if there was just a way we could do that to scalpers, like, because they're buying at retail price and then doubling or tripling and selling them on eBay, you know, for what twice and triple what their retail price is,
right,
when they're just coming out.
Yeah, when
like,
you get hop onto a pre-order, you wait in the background in the coming minutes, and as soon as you get into the site, sold out.
Yeah, and it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. And I thought, you know what? If we just stop paying scalper prices, then those prices would come down. But we'd have to do it collectively.
Yeah,
We'd have to do it as a united group of collectors that just decided, you know what? We're not going to pay more than double retail price for something. And maybe even that's too much in some cases, but I don't know. That was just an initial thought. I don't know if we could ever actually do that or start a hashtag movement.
I was going to say,
know.
What's the hashtag for that? Hashtag
stick it to the scalper.
Yeah.
I was going to go for something a bit stronger than that, but why don't you start a subreddit?
No, that's what you have to do, right? The subreddit's what's going to happen. You know,
a subreddit called F the Scalpers or something.
Well, I think what you could probably do, not to get too deep or vicious here, but what you would probably want to do is identify, like, say, the top 5 or the top 10 sources of scalping and expose them. You know, look, scalping can be determined, you know, or you can identify a scalper and it's just one guy who buys 3 of one thing when he buys it. Or what is a scalper, you know, because he's buying one to sell, one to keep in the box, and one to take out, right? I mean, that's actually a pretty good collector rule, because the one that you sell might pay for the 2 that you keep. You know, I mean, there's some of that mentality in there, and definitely I've been guilty of that. And been burned on it more than I've won, but, you know, and end up selling, you know, or giving it away to somebody. But what defines a scalper? And then how would you, you know, if you expose, like, look, if there's a company out there using algorithms and bots and getting in before you do, that would be like, that's terrible. If you're waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning and driving to Target and cleaning them out, I don't know. Maybe you're working. I don't know. I'm not trying to side with the scalpers here. I'm just saying, like, what defines a scalper?
But what you're saying there about buying one extra or whatever, I mean, even in the UK, like, I get people in my comments going, where do I get these figures? It's like, well, collectors should know where to get these figures, right?
Yeah.
We've got 5 or 6 really good online retailers.
Yes.
And I've never had a problem getting the figure I want, you know? Sometimes they're limited to 1 per customer, and that's fine. I'll just, you know, I'll get 1 from there, and then I'll go to another site and I get my other one. So I've got 1 open and 1 carded or what have you.
And that's been collecting since collecting, right? I mean, that's if you've got a collector's mind, that's how you think. You're like, look, it's there's a perceived value to me, whether I'm going to sell it or not, having it in its original packaging. And then there's the enjoyment value of being able to take it out and put it on display in whatever way I want. And then there's maybe I'll pick one up for my buddy, or maybe I will just sell this because the commodity's hot. I think that while nobody knows it's available, or nobody knows it's hot now, it might be hot later and I'll have one. I can sell one to somebody. You know, I don't know.
That's the thing. I think there's always somebody on eBay that will pay the price. And they might be someone that's not, you know, that's the thing. Like, a seasoned collector shouldn't have any business buying anything on eBay, because they shouldn't need to. They should be able to get what they want. Certainly in the UK, with all the sites that we've got, very rarely have I seen something really sell out. I mean, I could be wrong. I could just be on the ball, know when they're going on, and I've managed to be lucky and get them. But for the last at least 2 years, I've never had a problem getting the figure that I want. I think the people that might stick one up on eBay are hoping that, like, a sort of a random person might buy it that's not really a seasoned collector, you know, or and if they want to pay twice the price for it, then so be it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, the people that sort of maybe buy 10, 20 of something or have like 10 people in their street that are all buying the 1 per customer, but, you know, for that one person, then that's probably going a bit too far, you know?
Well, and then like I'll do a full admission here. When the barge came out at the time, I was like, I'm buying 4. I'm buying 4. I have no idea why. And it turns out I need one for me, and I wasn't interested in keeping one in the box for me. I just wanted one and take it out, keep the box. And then I ended up selling the second one to a buddy at cost, just exactly my cost. He just couldn't do it at the time. And I knew I was doing that when I bought it. I'm like, this, because I was like,
one of these is,
I was like, this guy,
Yeah.
he says he can't do it now, but he'll want one when we bring it. And it worked that way. So boom, got it. Because I knew I wouldn't have a problem selling it at least for cost, right? And then the third one, same thing, to a buddy. We did a trade. I got all this great stuff. He got a barge that he just, at the time. And I still have one left. Now for that, it's a Kickstarter, or not a Kickstarter, but a ramp up. So they know exactly how many they need to make when they're done, right? With the program. So I didn't feel like I was taking that from anyone. But in the end, I actually felt a lot better because, like, man, if I hadn't pulled those 2 out, these 2 guys wouldn't have gotten one, at least at the fair price I was able to give them, which is cost, and same with Andy, he got his, and I don't know. Tim, I think you just hit it. It's like, just be a normal collector, but I think we're getting abused by the people that are buying 30 or 40 of something, and then
and you've had yours long enough. You've had your spare one long enough now, and that is the market value. And if you're going to sell it, you're not going to mug yourself off and sell it for cost, are you? I mean, you're going to get what you can for it. I mean, as you say, as a Kickstarter, you weren't stopping anybody else.
Nope.
Yeah,
everyone had the opportunity to get one, except for the barge wasn't available around the world, which is
well, and that was part of it too. It was like, maybe the Canadians will want to pay for it, but no,
those suckers up north.
We're all a little greedy, okay? Let's be honest. But it was only to buy more toys. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and now you have a great like trade piece.
That's really what I'm holding on to it for. Like now I want to look, I want perceived value more than monetary value. I want like, hey, that's awesome to me. Yeah, it's worth X amount, but this is awesome to you. Let's do a trade. We both feel good about it. And away we go. So,
yeah. So the second thing that it made me think about as it pertains to Star Wars collecting is that if we were to evaluate characters as stock commodities right now, who's trending upward? Who do you want to get in on right now? Because a year or 2 from now, you think that if you were doing this purely for investment, who do you want to get in on right now for a year or 2 later when you want to sell? Like Tim, who do you think that would be for you right now?
I don't know. It's a difficult one because you just never know. I think like if you are a scalper that's one of those ones that are going to go, right, I'm going to buy all this stuff and then see what it's worth in a year later, you'll probably more than break even, because like some will go for cost at the bare minimum probably, and some will go like this, and some won't really do anything. So it's like, it's difficult to know really. I mean, I know for a fact that Captain Rex in the Black Series is like 70-80 pounds now, maybe even 100. And the other one I noticed the other day was the Obi-Wan. I think it was a Walgreens exclusive, the Obi-Wan in the clone outfit. That now goes for £100 on eBay, and again it's like you need 3 things, don't you? You need the seller, and then you need you need the 2 things rather. You need the person that's willing to pay that much to buy it, so it's difficult. I think army builders, I guess, like those 2 Mandalorian clones, because they were exclusives as well. They're army builders. They're always going to be highly sought after, I would imagine.
Yeah, clones are definitely on the upswing, I would say, in general, and this is in all figure lines. I think clones, especially if they have a name, whether it's Cody or Rex or Gree or Thorn or Doom or any of those named figures, whether it's 6-inch or 3 3/4, I think clones are.
I think they are too.
And that's
been a while too. It's been about a year or 2 that they've.
I think since season 7 of Clone Wars, especially, that really boosted them. And now with Bad Batch, they're just going to keep going. Ahsoka, she's high right now. but I don't see her coming
No.
down at all. Like I asked Tim earlier this week, it was like, how much is a carded vintage collection Ahsoka going for right now? Because I saw one for $400. and I think in a year or two from now, I don't think that's coming down.
Down.
I think that's gonna go
No.
up.
Well, if a series comes out for sure, right?
Yeah.
Which feels like it is. But you don't know, Tim. You said it. You don't know what. Look, because in the beginning, you could have said anything Mandalorian is going to be worth something, but that's actually not the truth. They're kind of cost and below on some of those figures. Yeah, they go up and down. And Andy and I stood in line at Target and got to get the carbonized Mandalorian because we were like, oh man, this thing's awesome. It's going to be, rare. And as an afterthought, I grabbed the first edition Mandalorian in the white box in Black Series, and that's the most valuable Mandalorian. Is that?
Yeah, he was 1 per case of the 8, I think.
Yeah.
So, but what I was actually talking about this very subject with my mate Nick, Only One Kenobi, the other day, because Captain Rex in the red and black box, he was in the Entertainer over here, which is it's not a discount store, but they tend to get older Star Wars stock and sell it cheaper, and they were £11 for a Captain Rex, so half price basically.
Right.
So, and I wasn't scalping anyone because there was so many there. I'll have 2 of those, one to open and have on display and one to keep in the box. So I kept my one that I opened, and the other one just went in a box, and it was under my bed for however long.
Mm-hmm.
And then a year later or whatever it was, you're browsing eBay, or somebody says on a Facebook group or something that, cool, have you seen the prices of Captain Rex recently? And I think it was up to like £55. And I thought, I've got a spare one of them that I paid £11 for. So
he's gone.
See you later.
Well,
I didn't buy him to do that, but it's just the way that market went. But now look at it, he's now worth double that. So
yeah.
Have I lost out?
Well, and just like actual stocks, you never know which ones are going to hit. For example, I know Mark just posted this. The Ray vintage collection was at cost for a long time, and then boom, it spiked. It's recently spiked, and now you're gonna have to pay up to get one of those. And who would have guessed?
Well, and who knows when Rose's Black Series figure becomes super valuable? You know what I'm saying? Like, they were giving those away. As a matter of fact, the only way I think that they could market and sell the Rose, and I'm just saying this based on figures, please, was put a BB-8 in the Elite Series Black Series. They put a BB-8 in with Rose, which I don't think in Last Jedi they weren't even on the screen together at the same time. So it was very interesting. I think they were in Rise of Skywalker, but it's, you never know. And those are the yak faces. Those are in 10 or 15 years from now when there's a sequel reformance going on, where people like
20-year anniversary.
The sequels are really good, okay, everyone, you all have very bad memories, great, but not that I'm just saying, the consensus was like there's
20 years ago the prequels were getting their chops busted.
They were getting their chops busted,
but 20 years later everybody loves them again. So
and now the price of the toys are higher, right? So
some of them,
but definitely. I think, like the Rise of Skywalker Rey, it's not just her, because I thought I'd have a look at this because I noticed that she had gone up, and even Poe Dameron has gone up.
Okay.
Like £40, which is double,
interesting,
nearly treble. And I was doing a bit of investigating about that, and I think the Rise of Skywalker wave was short stocked. I don't think they produced as many because The Last Jedi had a bit of an effect, didn't it, with toy sales and what have you. And I think they probably underproduced everything except for the troopers, like the Sith trooper, because that's an army builder. They produce loads of those because they think people will army build those.
Yeah. And
it's the same for the Rogue One tank commander. So that you can get the driver, loads of them, but the commander who's got the rank insignia on him, you only need one of those. You don't army build that guy because he's just in the top of the tank by himself.
Sure. Yeah.
And he's valuable now as well. So maybe he was underproduced compared to like the driver, for example. You know.
Yeah.
Difficult to predict, though. You know.
Yeah, the old supply and demand, economics 101. That's still holds true. What did you read something funny or something?
No, I'm laughing at you.
Okay.
Old economics. I thought economics was funny.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
It's a hilarious topic. Okay, we are proud now to present to you the latest from Red 5 Designs.
Yeah, this is kind of exciting. Our sponsor.
Yes, we are sponsored by Red 5 Designs.
there.
And this is a new venture for both of us and them. But Greg put out a video today with a little update on their book cover. Josh, do you have that?
I do. It's ready. Whenever you are.
Let's take a look at this little short video and we can comment on it here.
All right. And they put this up on YouTube. We'll have the link in the description after the show. So here it goes.
Hi, Greg here from Red 5 Designs with a first look at the book. Now this isn't finished, this is not the final product, this is just a proof copy been sent by the printers. So all those pages are in fact blank, but this is the size and the thickness and the weight the book will be. Again here, the dust jacket, this is just a proof, this isn't the final version, colouring might change. We just wanted to have a look at the details here, especially the gloss across these figures on the front, something we really strive towards getting just perfect, talking to lots of printers to make sure they could do it just right, and to make sure it also worked on the gold and the silver copies. Now we get a closer look at the foiling detail around the edge here. Again, this may differ slightly on the final product, maybe have a bit more of a gloss to it that we can see here. You can definitely see the gloss here across the Kenner here. We just want the cover to be more than just a printed cover. We want to have a bit more class to it, a bit more presence, and we think it looks great. Really happy with how it looks so far, and that's just a test version. Cheers for watching, guys, and we'll have more updates coming soon.
Awesome. I mean, right? I got like chills when I watched it the first time. I was like, oh, I can't wait.
I don't normally get jazzed up about books, but
What?
there's well,
Depends what type of book.
I can't wait.
It's not
for
a
this
book
thing.
like we've been saying. It's a piece of art. It's and I, we're gonna keep plugging them too. If you talk to these guys, if you get to talk to them in person, you know the passion, you know how much work they've put into it. That to me means as much as the product they're putting out because they care about it, and it shows. I mean, did you hear what he said? He's like, we sent it back and forth a few times. We wanted the gloss to be right. It's like they're worried about the gloss right now. I mean, it's fantastic. I think that's I think any collector, Star Wars collector worth their salt should have this.
Absolutely.
And shame on you if you don't, because Andy and I are gonna have one.
Yeah, you can still
I bought 5.
order.
No, I'm just kidding.
You can still order this version of the book on their website, which is read5designs.uk or .co.uk. I believe that's what it is.
It's weird over there. I don't know.
Or it's uk.co or co.uk.
Tim, help us.
I can't remember which one it is, but
He doesn't know. See, even in the UK, they don't know. They're
They
like,
don't
I don't know. They
understand.
put an extra dot and
.co.uk.
Yeah, .co.uk. Yeah, okay.
and the gold and silver editions are already bought out, but you can still buy this version.
Yeah, it's
so
beautiful.
if that interests you, head to their website. And because they
In the
sponsor
description.
us in the description down below, because they are a sponsor of ours, we are proud to present to you our Read 5 Designs toy review for the week.
Yay! We've got so many cool graphics, we have to use them all. Okay.
Absolutely. We're pro. We're definitely pro.
Boss, don't worry. Next time, yours will be spinning. Don't worry.
I was expecting another pre-recorded video. Then.
I know. It's just like
No, we're doing these toy reviews live, and this week's toy review is a Sideshow collectible 1/6 scale Princess Leia and Wicket from the movie The Return of the Jedi.
Which movie?
The Return of the Jedi.
All right, she's coming around face first, so I'm going to do it now.
Okay. Hit it. Give it a big
Boom.
screen.
There she is. Or they are.
This is such a cool Sideshow. Hot toy.
Hot toy.
Apologies. This is a hot toy. The face sculpt is incredible. Leia comes with the very well recognizable hair buns and braid version, and the helmet, like you see there. Multiple hand positions, blaster that is currently holstered. The poncho is amazing. The detail of all of these are always top notch. The boots are incredible, and Wicket.
Well, don't forget about the comm.
The little wristwatch.
Got a wrist comm. You know,
fantastic detail. Wicket looks absolutely awesome. He looks like a little grumpy Ewok there. And then the helmets that they gave as just kind of like decor pieces, you know, to put on the bases, they're incredible. Those by themselves are incredible. When we looked at the Stormtrooper helmet, we turned it over and looked at the inside, and the inside of the trooper helmets are incredibly detailed.
Well, at least the Stormtrooper, and it is better than the inside of a Black Series, a $100 Stormtrooper helmet. It's fantastic. It's awesome.
You know what? I'm gonna go
grab it. Now, what's funny though, and to Tim's point earlier about they got the sculpt, they got the paint, you know, whatever design ready. It looks a lot like the Mandalorian. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. There's a respirator in there where the mouth goes. I mean, look at that. It's gorgeous. Apparently, the inside of Stormtrooper helmets also look like the inside of the Millennium Falcon. So, you know, it's fine. Oh, yeah. Apprentice Ewok's freaking out right now because look, there's old Wiki. Yep. Yeah, what does he say? Let's do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Go on. You got it. Akiata.
No, but this is great. They come together in this pack, and they are absolutely fantastic. Josh is getting into Sideshow and Hot Toys here recently in the last few months. So I get to enjoy these in his collection. That's the beauty of collecting with your friends. You don't always have to have the same stuff.
No,
but these are incredible. Every time I see one, I'm just blown away at the detail and at the precision of the stitching. And the leather boots and belts and just all of it.
Well, like, you know, we were even talking about like the little nylon belt. It has a functioning buckle. You know, like you have to loop the nylon through the, you know, nothing's really shorted here. I know they're expensive, but that's what you expect when you open the box. I talked to you about it today because we took this out today, and it was like there's just actually nothing like opening a Hot Toy or a Sideshow for that matter. It's just different. You get all these experiences, and then you put the box away, and it's got spare parts in it because you have different ways you can pose them and different hands, you know, to hold different weapons, and it's really fun.
Yeah, you can put Leia on a knee talking to Wicket.
Yep.
And Wicket can be holding the helmet like he did in one of the scenes, you know. And what I thought was outstanding is one of the reasons why they have the two helmets there is because they give Wicket two leather bound mallets, like he's playing the drums on the top of helmets. And it's just classic.
Every day you could have a new scene with your furry friend and a Wicket. I'm just kidding. Leia, I meant to say.
Are we gonna
Tim, how do you feel about these? Tim's down there like these guys
I don't own any Hot Toys, but I remember when this one got announced and I saw Wicket on the screen, I thought, wow, that, you know, the fur and everything, they've absolutely nailed it.
Yeah,
it looks fantastic.
It's super soft too. It's like real hair.
Well, and that's what we talked about is like the concern that Wicket wouldn't come out. I actually think Wicket looks maybe even better than Leia's sculpt. And in the camera right now with the lighting the way it is, he's coming off a little brighter than he actually is. Because his face looks a little white, but he's got darker eyes, he's got all the right coloring, and his lips are perfect. I don't know. I'm talking about Ewok lips here. But that's
can you take the cowl off?
Yeah, everything will come off. You want?
I don't want to take it off. But no, yeah, I've got one. I've got one hot toy, and I've got one coming.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I'm going to really collect, but I'm not opposed to grabbing one.
Everyone that shows up pushes me further and further
Down
into the lane. Yeah.
The rabbit hole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's a good. They're too good. They're just too good to pass up if you can get your hands on them. And by the way, they're part of the whole, like, they're pumping stuff out right now. They're following the wave. There is so many pre-orders. Like when you go on there, it's overwhelming almost. He's like, oh, I want that, I want that, I want that. You know, but this one's coming in 2022, and this one's coming in. You know, so you gotta pick and choose. But yeah.
So if we took the helmet off, she'd just be bald. So we'd have to.
It's not bald. It's just a close crop, and then
Yeah.
we'd have to re-put her braids on. But yes,
Greg from Red 5 had the Cody, did he not, the other day?
Yeah, I
Someone had the Cody.
I think Greg took the pictures of Johnny's Cody.
yeah,
So
beautiful.
Yeah, it's the face sculpt on Cody was like it was Tamira Morrison. Like it was nailed.
And don't the hologram things light up and things like that as well?
Yeah, so on some of the hot toys they do have like electronics in them where the lights will flicker, and yeah, it's another level, it's another price point, but you are definitely getting something different. You know,
Yeah,
the difference between I mean, I don't even want to make comparisons. They're just something different. If you've never seen one in person, it's hard to explain. But
we're showing them one
I know
near person.
It's
right
almost as good as being in person. So yeah, there's a little debate. Do you leave the helmet on, or do you give her the braids?
And what we can say is after the show, we will definitely throw some braids on, because we had to take the braids off to put the helmet on. So we'll throw the braids on, and we'll take a few shots and post them up on Twitter for all those who want to see the difference. We are live, so you know, and we have a guest.
Yeah,
probably talk to our guest.
We should probably do that. So anyway, thank you for this our sponsors presenting the toy review for the day, the Red 5 Designs toy review.
That's right. Oh man,
we're just gonna leave that.
yeah,
okay,
I like her. You know,
Okay.
I'll pull her down. She's good. But say goodbye to Leia, everyone, and Wicket. Bye bye.
Now,
Cool.
Tim, do you have time to do a little quick collection walkthrough, or do you got to get going here?
No.
We can go either way here. So those that have been faithful followers of ours for the last year and a half or so, almost 2 years, I guess we've been doing the Show Me Your
2 years this
Collections.
month now.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Oh man. We
Losers.
try to feature a follower's Star Wars collection, great or small, as Yoda says, size matters not. We will show we will feature a shelf of Star Wars items. We will feature a room full of Star Wars items. Because every collection is just a little bit different, a little bit unique to the owner of the collection. And it's always fun to see what people are into and how they display, and you know what crazy things they're doing with what they have. So this week's collection comes to us from Dave at Vintage Toy Rush on Twitter. He has his own YouTube channel too, Vintage Toy Rush. And Dave has an immaculate collection of loose Star Wars, mostly loose. We can get to some pictures here.
Maybe. Where's our load going here? Oh. Kids, get off the internet. No, I'm just kidding. Right? All right,
But,
let me get down here then.
his X-Wing. So he's got everything from Legos to vintage to modern, you know, and actually he's got a lot of other genres, you know, other than Star Wars. But I told him to just take pictures of his Star Wars stuff. But you'll see within the pictures he's got a lot of other things as well.
I think that one's my favorite. No, it's not loading. There it is. Woo, good. I'm glad we got to see that.
Yeah, and he's got a great eye for displaying. You can tell that he's thought about it. It's not just thrown together. There are reasons why everything's there.
Oh, what a nice room.
Yes.
Tools,
Yeah.
tools, materials. What are in the other two drawers? That's what I want to know.
His
Yeah.
room's a lot tidier than mine, that's for sure. No one ever sees my floor.
That's right. Little raincoat. I guess we have a green hue in this room, though, when you walk in there, for sure, right?
Yeah, he's a green saber guy, I suppose.
He is. I love it. I love the vintage roll calls here. These are great. A great looking collection. Oh, I do see a Raiders truck down there. You see that? Yeah, the convoy truck. I see. He's
got
wow, that's cool looking. I like the boxes.
Yeah.
And the X-wing floating. Is that a custom? Or
No,
is that just a bad?
It's I've got a close-up picture of that
Okay.
X-wing, and it is spectacular.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about Bush's face there.
Oh, no, that's it.
All right. Coming back. Ooh, I kind of like the
Vantage
Boba's view.
on top, right where he should be.
Awesome. How cool is that?
Mm.
Tim, you ever have one of those? You ever sport one of those off to primary
No,
primary school?
I had an ET one where you got the flask inside it, you know.
Yeah. What was in the flask?
Yeah, that's the question. Oh, now we're getting the non-green hued. I see. Love the DL44.
Classic.
Ewok roundup with Yak Face just chilling in the back. He's just
Yeah,
back
yeah.
there. Yak
He's
Face just
secondary
like,
figure.
yeah,
He's
whatever.
always in the background.
Whatever. He is. He is.
Uh,
Uh-oh. Come on. Kids, no Netflix. It's not working. Yeah, we'll keep moving. You never know.
Dave's in the chat here. Dave, was that your lunch pail from when you were a kid?
Please tell me it was.
That'd be really cool if it was.
Max Rebo. Awesome. I love the vintage. Now, have we seen modern? What? Tell me, I missed it or something.
No, as far as like, he's got some modern Legos.
That's what we saw. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if
Clues
you,
in the name, Josh.
What's that?
Vintage Toy Rush. The clues in the name.
I know, right? Yeah, it's got to be there. Thank you.
it's on brand.
Although there is A-Team over here and Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's got
Bionic
a
Man.
fair bit of Action Force and some other things too. But Josh, if you click on the article, that very first picture in the article is a picture of his X-Wing, and it's a Palatoy X-Wing. That's why it looks just a little bit different in the back, because they didn't have electronics in the Palatoy X-Wings.
No.
But
You guys had to make your own terrible sound effects?
Yeah.
Yeah, just run around making that super accurate sound effect.
But that is the cleanest looking X-Wing.
It really is.
I mean, the canopy's nice and clear, and it's bright white. I mean, it was just in great shape. And he's got it hanging from the ceiling. It's perfect.
It's beautiful. It's quite beautiful.
Very nice, Dave.
Well, very nice collection there.
Yeah.
Very nice collection.
You can get a hold of Dave at Vintage Toy Rush on Twitter, and like I said, he's got his own YouTube channel, and you can maybe get a little bit better a better viewpoint of his collection if you visit our website at beyondtheblastdoors.com. It should be right at the top this week as far as articles go. Go ahead and click on that and give it a walkthrough. And then I ask him some questions about his collection as well, and he gives some very thoughtful answers about it. And especially for you guys in the UK, you might be able to relate some of his responses and going where to go to get his toys and all that stuff. So thank you, Dave. And if you have a collection that you'd like us to feature, email us as many pictures as you like at holochronicles@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And we'd love to feature yours. We've got the next few weeks lined up with some great collections. So it's always a fun look for us. And we hope you guys get a little enjoyment out of it too. That's kind of how it works.
I mean, we don't care if you do or not, but yeah.
So we've featured yours, Tim. We did, we reposted your video that you made of your walkthrough of your collection. That was pretty awesome. You know, if I could ask you one thing about your collection before we kind of wrap up here, what for you is next on your get list?
Oh, yeah, it's difficult because it's like, can I afford it? No, I can't. I would love a Palatoy Bossk. So I want to hang on. So I have the Kenner Bossk.
Okay. Very nice. In good shape too. Is it graded?
Yeah, it got a 70 because it's got a bit of sticker damage.
Sticker, yeah.
I could probably get that off if I break this open, but I like. And then I've got the Palatoy one, and this is not a Toy Tony.
Okay. Do you want a Toy Tony?
No, I don't really want to. No.
Okay.
I'm not really bothered about the Toy Tonys. I know they've become collectible in themselves now, but no, not if I've got the real one.
Okay.
So I want a Palatoy, but with the Palatoy logo down there, and that which means it's it'll be like a, I don't know, like a 31 back or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there was one on somebody's Facebook group the other day, and it was £1,300.
Oh wow!
So it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen anytime soon. But I would like it so I can have that set.
Yeah. And no interest in getting a Return of the Jedi card, or do you have one already?
I don't. I would like one, but they often have the yellow bubbles. Very difficult to get a Bossk on Return of the Jedi without a yellow bubble.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with, I will probably have to get one that's slightly yellowing.
Yeah.
That's why I like the Palatoy cards, because a lot of the time the bubbles are clear.
Yeah, just a little higher quality bubble pre-Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi Kenner cards, the bubbles just go yellow, don't they?
Cheap plastic. Darn it.
So that's something that I want to get. Other than that, I'm sort of collecting the alternative image cards. So I've got Chewie and Vader. So I'd like to try and get a Yoda or the Ben one that we were talking about earlier with the blue lightsaber, the sort of the front of him. Yeah. So I want to try and complete those. But again,
that Luke
there, the Luke Gunner.
Yeah, I was gonna say that alternative Luke card's a pretty penny right now, that's for sure.
And again, want always a yellow bubble as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if there is one with a yellow bubble versus not having one, would you rather have one? So
yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, you always got to play that game. Well, would you rather? Would I rather have this, or would I rather have this? So that's a game we always
get
play.
Both. All right.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time and spending some toy time with us here. I know it's getting a little late where you're at, but we really appreciate you coming on with us. Where can they find you on Twitter and on YouTube?
So at Bossk's Bounty on Twitter and Instagram. That's the two places I hang out the most, and then my YouTube is just Bossk's Bounty, I guess. That's how you find it.
Yeah, we have all the links down in the description too, so you can click on there. Just go down, go look. Your webpage, by the way, Tim, is awesome. I love it. I love the articles. I love the connections to the pictures. It's quick, fast, informative information,
user friendly.
It's awesome. Before we get rid of Tim, should we let him do a quick spinner? Andy. You know what I'm talking. Tim,
do you want to narrate?
Do you want to see if you can narrate a spin for Leia and Wicket here?
Great.
All right, you ready? Here it comes. Here comes the music. I think my music's overriding you, Tim. You were cutting out, but Actually, I just preferred watching you.
You were,
I love it.
yeah, you
I
were
love it.
using
I love
your
it.
sexy voice.
You were. It was, well, I thought a good sultry British voice in there. I mean, come on, this might change everything for us.
Yeah, and might open some new doors.
But I didn't get a chance really at the start just to say thank you for inviting me on and everything. It's been a pleasure being on. I've had a right laugh today, so thank you. It's been really good. I always enjoy your shows because you look ultra. I said before we came on, you look ultra professional.
Oh, that's it. That's all.
Yeah, we're fooling everybody one follower at a time.
Yeah.
Great audio and your cameras are good and.
well, at least we have that.
At least we got that going for us. Yeah.
No, we love you guys. I mean, and by you guys we mean you Brits. You're awesome. I'm just kidding. No, it's so much fun. Andy and I talk about it all the time. It's like, man, the people we've met just by trying to get this show, with content, and then you meet all these people, and then you realize that there's just so many smart and fun and nice and generous, and I don't know. I enjoy the heck out of it, and I wouldn't care if anybody was watching as long as we could get together and chat like we do. It's
it's awesome. Yeah, it's good.
And you've helped me acquire something from my collection, and I appreciate that. And it's like, if nothing else, we're just kind of networking some people that can maybe help us find things, or we can ask questions. We're building a
toilty, right? Toilty.
Yeah, we're building a library of people and information and resources that it's just been super fun. And
that shouldn't be too much longer for you now, should it? It should be arriving soon.
I hope so. I hope next Monday we can be talking about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks again. Thank you for those of you that are watching and listening.
By the way, we had a ton of people in the chat today. Thank you so much, or tonight, depending on where you're at. So thank you so much for participating. Some great comments in the chat. I think we owe them. We need some pictures of Leia with her hair on. We'll get those.
We'll get some of those out there, definitely.
And then just these guys are awesome. And Bossk, you're awesome. Boss Bounty,
Don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Leave a comment after the feed's over here. And if you would like to, you can find us on Patreon. And for the price of a cheeseburger every month, you can support our network.
So, right. Just one cheeseburger.
One cheeseburger.
Or 2 cups of tea.
Or 2 cups of tea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tim, what's your preferred tea?
I'm not a hot drinker, actually.
Not even cold tea?
Oh God, no. No.
Oh God, no.
Oh no. I like a soda, as you call them, or a bit glass of water. It's a bit boring, really, isn't it? But or an alcoholic beverage, obviously.
Sure,
we're in the Northwest.
Craft
we
beers.
call it pop.
Yeah,
soda is called pop up here, like your 5-year-old.
Yeah,
have a pop.
My grandma used to call it pop. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for us. Thank you so much for joining. We've given all the socials out. We're good to go, right? Anything else you want to say, Tim, before you're out of here?
Just thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Go check out Tim's stuff. It's awesome.
It's good.
And Andy, what are you going to say?
Go play with your toys.